exciting. We are at the MUSE Awards for NYWIFT 2025. What's so incredible is the amount of success that people have had in the film and television industry, and a lot of them owe it to this organization. So if you're not a member of NYWIFT, you might want to join, and stay tuned. Congratulations. It's a wonderful day. It's just beginning. It's so exciting. What are you most looking forward to today?
I'm very much looking forward to the honorees really being able to shine a light on their work and the impact they have. I'm looking forward to catching up with colleagues and meeting new professionals and young women and young people in the film and television industry. And just kind of bringing in this next year in about a positive light.
When you first joined NYWIFT, why did you join?
I wanted to find a place that where I felt supported, where I felt that I could explore the different things that matter to me. I'm creative, I'm a television executive, and I wanted to be nurtured as an artist as well as supported as a professional.
Okay, so tell us what's happening here behind the scenes today.
So right just then, I was doing one of those posing in front of the red carpety things. I think they call it step and repeat.
Yes.
Which I'm not always so comfortable with because I know there's ways to stand to like slenderize and whatnot, and I sometimes just feel foolish. But I am a big supporter of NYWIFT, and the MUSE Awards are a really important thing to give tribute to these wonderful, talented women, and so I will do the step and repeat for them.
There you go.
You're welcome.
What was one moment in your career so far that just makes you feel that life should be celebrated in a grand way?
Oh my, that's such a good question. A moment in my career. You know what? I think it was this serendipitous moment where I was doing like sort of political comedy for free with some friends. It takes a while. And then a year later, I got this mysterious message from Erin Moriarty, who's a CBS correspondent and one of my dear friends. And Erin said, I saw your work. I really want to work with you. And we started doing a radio show together. And that's how I ended up on CBS News Sunday Morning 22 years ago. It was
amazing.
And it's important, I think, for people to know that sometimes you end up working for free and there are benefits. But it's better to work for pay.
Congratulations, today is going to be so exciting. Tell us what you're most looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to celebrating New York women in film and television, all the amazing luminaries, women who are just incredible, that have championed women in entertainment, diverse women from all walks of life. NYWIFT is such an amazing organization which advocates for women in the entertainment industry, inspires education, expands knowledge, and really helps to champion women of all walks of life to elevate their careers and upskill their work. So it's really wonderful to be here.
Congratulations. We're here kind of behind the scenes of the red carpet this year. Super exciting. Tell us what we're in store for today.
We have some amazing women, as always, that we honor and that we celebrate. But this year, it's really special. It's our 45th year, which is close to like the 50th. I know, it's so fast. But it's just, there's a lot of really difficult things going on in the world, and then you have these wonderful women that are making strides and making impact, and they're going to be here today, and I'm so excited about that.
NYWIFT today,
yes,
the awards. Tell us why it's special to you personally.
Well, if you know me, I don't go to that many things, but in New York, NYWIFT is always something that I go to. I'm a former recipient of the award, and under Cynthia Lopez's leadership and her team, it's just become one of those events that you cannot miss. And so many women should be receiving this award. We only have a certain slots every year, a certain amount of slots, and it's hard to make a decision. But being part of women in film and television, I just feel is something that if you are aspiring in your career, whether you're a writer, a director, a producer, an artist, it doesn't matter what it is. This is a place that you come and you find collaboration, you can't find support, you find insulation, you find all the things that you're looking for, and women that will let you stand on their shoulders. And that's what you want, especially if you are aspiring.
I am so excited to be here today with Lisa Cortez in particular. I'm on the board of NYWIFT. I'm secretary of the board, and we are all, each one of the board members is taking care of one of our honorees, and today it is the wonderful, esteemed Lisa Cortez.
I am so excited to receive the MUSE Award today and to be in community with this incredible group of New York filmmakers, but also from beyond. You know, I have friends who've come in from London, from Toronto. So it's not only this community, but it is an international community that is aligned in its commitment to making certain that our voices in front of and behind the cameras is represented.
A beautiful and glorious day. I mean, so excited for you. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here, right? So the celebration has already begun. Enjoy, and you're well deserving of this. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. How did the connection between the two of you start? Why does this moment mean so much to you?
We go so far back, even before I was commissioner, but I was working in the industry because she had worked on some wonderful films that my husband had worked on. So that's how we met. But since then, we've just had so many times to work together, and she brings her incredible touch and talent to New York.
Well, today's so exciting. I mean, we're at an iconic location. What does today with the MUSE Awards mean to you?
Oh, really everything for somebody who, started at the bottom, really, and I did every job imaginable on a set and worked my way up incrementally. I loved everything. People kept on telling me, Nana, you got to move up here. And I was very happy to be a location manager. And then I said, no, you got to be a production manager. And so I did that, and really, it's been wonderful. And Pat has been there the whole time.
It means a lot to all the people that are here, the filmmaker, the television personality, because we continue to make changes in the world. The impact of film and television every day become more important.
This is actually my first MUSE Awards that I've ever been to, and it's important, especially now, to be surrounded by powerful, empowering women here in New York City to show that we are not afraid to show our voices and to uplift other women in the community. With that,
see you again.
Yeah, likewise, Donna.
I am always here. I'm a product of a long line of very strong women, women who were fearless and women who had a lot of guts, and they taught me a lot. So I owe it to them, and it's good to give back. It's good to represent the community. It's good to always be present at these things, because it's important to recognize good people anytime you can.
In 2025, what is the most passionate thing that you feel that you can bring to your projects this year?
I think I'm going to bring a perspective of, I'll be honest, having two children in school, navigating the difficulties that they're navigating has taught me a lot this past year. And two girls, by the way. So I bring a lot more knowledge. I think I have a way to approach things in a much more calmer way. And, good things come to those who wait, I guess.
Today means so much to so many people. Why did you decide to celebrate today?
Well, I always want to celebrate women in film and television and in the media now more than ever, and to celebrate an organization that supports women in the media. I'm also here as a proud member and national board member of Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA. So I'm here with them at our table today, supporting New York women in film and television.
When I got my SAG card, my daughter saw me crying and she's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I got my SAG card. It's something that I've wanted for as long as I could remember."
Oh my goodness.
Now she's old. Now she's like 30 years old, but it's still that moment where she's like, "All I really wanted was a bay window." For some reason, I thought I wanted to grow up and have a bay window and my SAG card. So enjoy today.
Oh, thank you so much. I remember getting my SAG card in 1986 and getting that package with the card and the welcome package, and I thought, oh my God, I'm a real actor now. I really am an actor, and I'm in a union. And now, at my age, to have the support of my union, to have a pension, to have had health care since I was 16 years old, I get teared up just thinking about how grateful I am to have that protection, especially in this day and age.
And it does make you feel like you're real. Like,
Yeah.
Pinocchio, I'm real.
Approval.
I'm a real actor now. Tell us what today means to you.
Today means so much to me. I cannot believe that I am in this group of incredible women and that I'm being honored. I'm so grateful to New York Women in Film and Television for honoring me today, and I'm proud. I'm proud to be here and proud that I made it.
What's one piece of advice you'd like to share with the audience?
One piece of advice that I would like to share with the audience is to remember that your differences are your superpower.
Yes! Congratulations. What are you most looking forward to about today?
I'm looking forward to all the other women in this room being celebrated as they should, because they all deserve their flowers. I'm really excited for that and happy and proud of all of them.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
So nice to meet you in person. Really, truly.
You too.
What? You know what? You have this beautiful aura about you, and it just kind of like, it radiates goodness. So have a wonderful time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel so lucky to be here. Thank you.
I know, me too, right?
So excited to celebrate some incredible women in front of and behind the camera who have been such incredible advocates for our community and have just been inspirations to all of us. So,
and your thoughts for today?
So every year this is like a reunion. It's where all the women come together who are doing things in the industry, who are fighting to make things better. So this is super exciting for us.
Thank you so much.
Well, today's an incredible day to celebrate the achievements of just amazingly powerful women in our industry.
When you decided to go into this line of work, who was one person that said yes to you, that made you feel like your dream was possible?
It was a long time ago. It was someone who's an alum of my own college who was in the business, and she needed an assistant and I needed a job. And she was in Los Angeles and I was all the way over in Boston, and she said, "Oh, you're seduced by the sunshine. Call me on Monday when you go back home and then we'll really talk." And I called her first thing Monday morning, LA time, and the rest is history, as they say.
And where did you go? Where are you an alum of?
Oh, Simmons University.
There you go. Go Simmons. Give them a shout out. I mean, there you go. Magic happens. You never know when you're going to meet somebody that you're going to later work with in life.
Go Sharks.
Oh, go Sharks. Go Sharks. Go Sharks. Sometimes when you have a chronic illness, you may want to seek the help of a board-certified patient advocate. Joining us now is Nicoletta, and we're going to be talking about being a board-certified patient advocate. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
So you were a person and you were fighting a chronic illness, and you could not get any satisfaction from any of the doctors that you were seeing.
Yes, it actually all started when I was in my 30s, and I experienced health issues that became chronic. I was bouncing back from doctors to doctors, having multiple tests done, and no one really could figure out what the root cause of my issue was. Then, at one point, I really became non-functional, and I decided I'm going to do my own research. I searched for second, third, fourth opinions. I flew out of state and did other things, like reaching out to people. And really, it led me to a pretty rare diagnosis, which is called mast cell activation syndrome, that after almost a decade of having symptoms, I had my answer.
And it's called, I'm just going to say that again, it was mast cell activation syndrome?
Correct.
Okay.
So in my case, it's a multisystemic illness, but in my case, mostly my GI system and respiratory system were affected. Having the diagnosis was really liberating because I was able to understand my triggers, get a treatment, and really, the impact of knowing what's wrong on my mental health was tremendous. So that's how it started with me, going through really the hoops of the medical system.
And you probably wished you had a patient advocate at that time. Don't you wish you had like a best friend that kind of could help you navigate the whole system?
Actually, yes. And, the biggest help I received came from the community. And it came from people I reach out to, not really medical community. That's how, that's the idea of, helping others really started in my head as a patient advocate.
And then your daughter was born, or even before she was born, in utero, you noticed she also had a problem.
Yes, so, fast forward 1 year after my own diagnosis, we were pregnant. We were super happy, expecting Aspen, until the 20-week anatomy scan. They told us that she's facing life-threatening birth defect. It's called congenital diaphragmatic hernia. Basically, her diaphragm had a hole, and through that hole, all the digestive organs, such as spleen, liver, etc., they would crowd the lungs and didn't allow the lungs to develop. So when I was pregnant, she breathed through the placenta, and when after delivery, she had to be put on life support, on ventilator, and had a life-saving surgery. And I think even though my issue and her issue were totally
completely different,
right? The common theme was that how I felt as a patient and as a mom to a patient, really being left on my own and being forced to look for resources on my own. So we did this really good research, and we found the only place in the US that has a NICU designated solely for CDH babies. The NICU was in St. Pete, Florida.
Okay.
So we packed our bags, we took our dog, and we moved down there. She was born there. She received really great care, and she did extremely well. She was ready for discharge in 18 days.
Amazing.
It's really, the birth defect is 1 in 2,800 kids. It's as common as cystic fibrosis.
I was going to say, that sounds very common.
Yes, and no one really talks about it. No one knows about it. I didn't know about it. I was familiar with other big things that might happen, but not. It's CDH for short.
Okay.
So just very similarly, as in my case, the first whoever extended hand to me was other moms and other parents from the community. This is how I learned about Johns Hopkins, and this is how we got there. And that's why, they were patient advocates for me. So my own journey, her journey, it really brought the idea of being a patient advocate together.
Because you can empathize with someone that's going through that, whether they're on the parent side or they're the patient themselves, And I believe what you're really trying to do is, or what you have now in place, is that you are a board-certified patient advocate, right? You're not a medical professional, but what you're able to do is almost be like a matchmaker. And you could say, okay, through my data, my research, I noticed that this is what you've been diagnosed with, you may want to consider this place, or this place, right? You're like a matchmaker, I guess?
Correct.
Okay.
And it's always great to give people options, right? For some folks, relocation might not be an option. But if you know about different hospitals and different areas that you can explore, it's really empowering in terms of getting your treatment. So that's what we do. And if it's looking for second opinions, sometimes, especially when we talk about invisible illnesses such as Lyme disease or like even endometriosis or mast cell is also an invisible illness. There is very few specialists that are true specialists, and you really need to get the diagnosis and treatment. You need to get there. So, it's really hard to find a doctor who would properly treat it. So, just like you said, connecting people with resources.
It reminds me, I was 39 when I was pregnant with my youngest son, and I had an amniocentesis. And I was even afraid to have an amniocentesis. I'm like, oh my goodness, they're saying, oh, you need this, blah, 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 blah. And my youngest had like a very thick nuclear fold in the back of his neck, so they thought he might have Down syndrome. So here I am pregnant. My husband at the time was out of town. What did I do? I went to the website. Right, I went to the internet and I'm researching. I'm like, okay, people that work with Down syndrome children, they've got a great center in North Carolina. I mean, I was just like you. I was ready to like pack my bags and go, right? It turns out that wasn't the situation. Matthew doesn't have Down syndrome, but it was good to know that if he did, which hospitals had a heart surgeon nearby and what you needed, like what your child needs in that case of an emergency, like your daughter. She needed life-saving surgery instantly.
Yeah,
right?
So no, definitely. And when you go online, you read all the scary stories. Like the first thing, when I was even on the ultrasound table, when they told me about CDH, I Google and this, the crazy things are popping up, and you end up being really scared and really, you still have to continue the rest of your pregnancy, and you want your baby not to be affected by that, which is very hard. So that's why the help I received was really tremendous.
I'm glad you're here. And I know that I saw Aspen when I was on break and she came in my dressing room. She's adorable. Would it be okay? Can we bring her out to say hello?
Sure.
Okay. We'll be right back because we want to meet Aspen. And now we're back with Aspen. Aspen, hi. Are you having a good time today at the studio? It's awesome. So did you know that you inspired a whole new company? Did you know that? Yeah. So what are we doing, Nicoletta, now? You're putting together a new platform that does what?
So we really realized that access to care.
Who is that? Ellie? Is that your elephant?
It's her Ellie that she had from
it's
the
Ellie?
time she was born.
Can I see Ellie? Would you show me? Can you pass it over to me? Would it be okay if I put Ellie right here? Okay, great. Nice to meet you, Ellie. Okay, there you go, Aspen. So
go sit down.
Thank you for sharing this with me. I promise I'll give her back. Okay.
Yes, we realized that one of the most important aspects is access to care. So, and the best care that we discussed. So we are putting together a platform of best doctors in New York City and New Jersey that really we trust, and we stand behind our recommendations. And these will be out-of-network doctors who would offer special pricing and discounts for the patients. So by doing that, we basically, we provide our recommendations, we stand behind the recommendations, and we also offering, good pricing that you can, afford, and really affordability with that platform itself. So
and it's called Healthcare Redefined.
So that would be a part of Healthcare Redefined marketplace.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Ellie, thank you for being here as well.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to return Ellie to Aspen, but thank you for watching. And if you are looking for a board-certified patient advocate, or if you're in need of any type of situation, reach out to Nicoletta because maybe she can help or know somebody that can. Be well. Our next guest, their name means the flower that emits happiness. Joining us once again is Dr. Yasmine Saad, and I'm very elated to have her here because it's been about 5 years and her growth has been tremendous. Welcome back. I just want to celebrate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure.
I've been watching you on social media, and my goodness, the things that you're doing are just tremendous. Let's start with the TEDx talk. I was able to do a TEDx talk, but something special happened with yours. What's going on?
It got editor's pick.
Yay!
Less than 0.1% of TEDx do that. So I'm very excited. So that means Ted thought it was a message worth sharing with the world.
Yes, and what was your message worth sharing? You don't have to do all 11 minutes because we'll go to see it, but what was the topic?
So the topic is how to make sense of your negative thoughts.
Okay.
So most people don't know how to deal with negative thoughts. They either replace them with positive thoughts, ignore them, or they just take them at face value and drown with them. Whether you replace them, ignore them, or took them at face value, you're thinking your negative thoughts are detrimental to you, and you have created an enemy within. And now you're left fighting with your negative thoughts. So even people who use affirmation and think like, okay, I'm going to replace it, you're still telling yourself what's coming through me is negative. So that means you have a body and a mind that are creating negativity for you. And therefore you're fighting. So that's what the TEDx is about. And in it, I show people a different way of thinking of negative thoughts.
I like that. I truly do. I grew up in a very positive household. I'm talking about the time where they did transcendental meditation and it was warm fuzzies and cold pricklies, right? I've been in that language probably since I've been about 9 or 10 years old. And a lot of times people don't get me. They just think like, oh my gosh, she's so overtly positive. She's got to be fake and phony, right? A lot of times it is a coping mechanism for me, right? So that when something bad happens, I take that thought and I'm like, poof, I just like try to send it out somewhere else and away from me. Because we are not just what we eat, but we are our thoughts.
Correct. And that's why we want to have positive thoughts. But that would be the second step. The first step is to understand that thought is coming and it's sticking. We get so many thoughts. Why this one sticked and why is it coming? So thoughts are coded messages, and therefore your job is to decode them. Afterwards, you could replace them, but initially they carry so much information about you.
Yeah. What does this mean?
That's right.
And why does this bother me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what is it here to tell me? So that's the idea. If you think you're not good enough, doesn't mean you're not good enough, but it means that you need to pay attention to your self-esteem. How are you thinking about yourself? Where are you? And so in that TEDx, I show how every thought carries your present, your desired future, the way you motivate yourself to get there, and the obstacle along the way. So they have so many information, and if you were to decode them, you will save yourself so much time.
Why did you decide to go into this field?
Oh, well, I wanted to help people, of course, but what's very unique about me and this field is, so I have 17 years experience as a psychologist, but I also have 12 years in traditional Chinese medicine. I've been studying under Grandmaster Nan Lu of the Traditional Chinese Medicine World Foundation. So what is very unique is I have a holistic view of body, mind, spirit. So a lot of psychologists just focus on the mind. I understand the connection of your mind with your environment, your surrounding, where you live, your relationship, and with your body. So when people come to see me, you can tell me you have a hip pain. I can know what are the thoughts you'll be having, what are the frustration you'll be having because of those connections.
It's funny because you picked up on something. That's how in tune you are. Because earlier today in one of the segments I was mentioning, and I know that you weren't here then, that sometimes on a long drive, my hip joints are bothering me. And I keep readjusting the seat in my car. I'll be driving and I'll be like, oh, and I'm trying to like touch the buttons and I'm like, well, maybe if I tip this way or if I tip that way. I was like, ah.
And I can tell you, in traditional Chinese medicine, green is the color to relieve stress. And hip pain, yes, that's right.
Okay.
And hip pain, the idea, hip is where you move, right? It's meant to move. So that means the friction is very tight. When the friction is very tight, that means there's stress being held. When there's stress being held, the emotion of tension and stress is frustration.
Okay.
So that means that your body is carrying what you're not expressing.
So if I'm driving and there's traffic, I could just be expressing the fact that I'm frustrated because there's traffic.
That's right.
Love that.
That's
Okay, I'm
right.
gonna be mindful of that.
That's
so
right.
super mindful. The other wonderful growth that's happened for you in your journey is that you have new office space, right? And tell us
Yes.
about that. Tell us about the decor of each of those special rooms.
Yes. So I wanted to create a space where the moment people walked in, they felt good. And you know, we live in New York City, we're disconnected from nature, and we know that nature heals. You know, research has showed us. So I wanted the moment people walked in, they felt good. And since I have 12 years of experience traditional Chinese medicine, and Chinese medicine is all about the relationship with nature, with your mind, your body. So we have an environment where every room is an element of nature so that the moment you walk in, you feel good. So we have a water room that when you walk, I can sit there forever. It's so calming. We have a forest room. Talk about stress. That's why the green color, the trees is what de-stresses you. So we have a fire room for people who need more passion, more fire in their life. So we have the red sand dune of Australia that are very fiery there. And then we have an earth room, which are all the canyons.
Okay.
And the moment you walk in our office, you feel good. Our waiting room is the fall room. So it's meant to, you sit, it's here to let go while you wait for your session.
Lovely.
So like
I've been
that.
climbing waterfalls lately on the weekends, and I just found a new map of several different waterfalls that you could like do like in a day. I'll share that with you, just in case you have patients that might want to go on the tour.
Oh, that's
so much fun.
Yes,
you know,
and so healing, and we need that.
We do.
We need movement. We need nature. We need to reconnect.
I'm glad we reconnected.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
so happy. I get to watch you on social media, and I was like, come back on. I want to just, like I said, I just want to celebrate you.
Well,
I know
thank
that you're
you so
doing good
much.
work. You're helping so many people, and you're having fun doing it.
Yes, I love it. I love doing it, and I love helping people, and I love, you know, introducing them to their mind, to their thoughts, their emotion, how everything works. Well, we're equipped with all of this, and it's healing ourselves constantly, but most people don't know how. So that's why I want the message to spread. I want my inner message approach to
Go
spread.
everywhere, right?
That's right.
Everywhere. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope that you enjoyed this visit. We hope that you find your inner peace, the beauty, the joy of the journey, and thank you for watching. And please be sure to go to her TEDx talk. On today's show, we discuss modern wellness. Joining us now is Dr. Lisa Zimmermann. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. I used to work at Barnes Hospital, which was a large facility in St. Louis, Missouri, and worked with a lot of their clinical service lines. I've been someone that's always been fascinated about medicine. What made you decide to do this as your journey?
Oh, well, that's a complex question. I always wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
And I started out very traditional, but then along the way, my youngest daughter became chronically ill, and no one could figure out how to help her. So then that led me into functional medicine, which is really looking at the root cause of what happened to the patient's health in a different way. And that's led me down this whole journey.
You had a very strong why then.
Right.
Really strong why. And that's basically what we were talking about before, is that that's what you do. You find when someone is chronically ill, you are almost like an investigator, right?
Right. I wasn't going to give up.
Yeah. So tell us about that. So when a patient comes to you with many different symptoms, right? What is the process like? They
Right.
find you, hopefully, right?
Right. So many of my patients have been down many specialists, have seen at least 10 doctors. Then they find out about how I'm going to investigate what's really truly the root cause and see if I can achieve health for them again. So part of the process is they'll come in and I listen. I take a very long history. Part of what I do is I think the hint is in the history and no one's listened to them before.
Okay.
So you have to look at what happened, when were they healthy, and when did they start having symptoms. And then based on that history, it might point me in the right direction of what tests to use, but a lot of the conventional blood tests are not the ones that I need.
Okay.
They're the more forward blood tests that are developed by labs that are, I would say, on the cutting edge.
And that's who you're working with.
That's who I'm working with to investigate what happened to their health.
Is Lyme disease considered a chronic illness?
Yes.
That you kind of have to, so the symptoms may take a long time to develop, and then you're kind of walking them through
Well, usually
something? Or,
in a case of tick-borne illness, the patient really hasn't had the proper testing to determine that that's the cause of their illness.
okay, and maybe the red bullseye has long been gone.
Well,
Right.
40% of cases never get the bullseye.
Interesting.
And they don't even see the tick bite.
Okay.
They just get this debilitating flu-like illness, and they've been to every specialist, and they have not found out that the cause is Lyme disease. And that's mainly because the testing is very inadequate.
So as an investigator and also a physician, you take it upon yourself to like go for it, right?
So I had to go on a lot of conferences.
Okay.
I went to the International Lyme Disease Conference, which has specialists in Lyme disease from all over, France, Germany, America, look at all the research. I had to find laboratories that are going to do the proper testing. Lyme disease, when you go to the standard lab, they're going to test for one type of Lyme.
Okay.
There's now 15 different subspecies. So if you don't test for all the species, you're not going to find it. So I have some of that sophisticated testing in my office, as well as other things. We'll look at the microbiome of your gut. The bugs that live in your gut are going to help your immune system. If they're depleted, then your immune system's depleted. Then the Lyme disease gets worse.
So they say you need some good bacteria, right?
Right.
To fight the bad bacteria.
That's right.
So interesting. I've always found, like I said, science and medicine so fascinating.
Right.
Besides Lyme disease, what are some of the other, I guess, chronic illnesses that you're able to uncover and say, boom, this is
Right.
probably what you have?
So I have a lot of people come in with irritable bowel type symptoms, bloating, gas, constipation. They've been to the GI specialist. Again, that's going to lead me down the road of looking at the microbiome of your gut. I'm always amazed that the GI doctors don't do it.
Okay.
And I usually uncover the answer.
Got it. So
Right.
you'll be like, you have this parasite or you have this whatever.
Right.
Okay. Once you find the case, right? Once you unlock that mystery
Right.
and you bring that result to the patient, most of the time, are you able to treat the symptoms and maybe help them? Or
Most of the time they can achieve a wellness again. I
Really?
can get them completely well.
Wow.
Most of the time, or at least 80%. So that's again going into a more holistic approach.
which is what you do at
Right.
Zimmermann Medical, right?
Because I noticed that, pharmaceuticals can only maybe achieve 30% of the time you'll get well, and then you'll relapse, especially with Lyme disease. It's really not a good answer.
Okay.
So I started getting into herbal medicine. I went on a lot of herbal conferences, and with herbal tinctures, it actually eradicates the Lyme disease much better, helps the immune system to heal. We do a lot of IV nutrition in the office because they're so depleted. So
And
we
is
have
that
to-
part of the regenerative medicine?
Well, regenerative medicine's a term where I also delved into, people will come to see me and say, I'm 70 years old.
Right.
I'm a little tired. What can you do to regenerate me? So that's a whole nother talk.
That's cute. How
Right?
can I feel 30 again, right?
Right.
I know. I'll be 60 this year, and I don't mind telling my age, but I feel like I'm 42. So as
That's
long as
great.
I still feel healthy,
Right.
it's the vibe I'm giving off, I'm going for it.
That's good.
But there are times where I'll notice, like, I'll be driving the car too long, right? And my hip joints feels like I'm pregnant again. Like my hip, I feel the
Right.
pain from being in a certain angle a different way. Maybe some exercise would help or whatever.
Right.
But your body, it does
Give you signals.
it gives you signals. It talks to you if you listen, right?
That's correct.
What's one case, without naming their name, that you were able to help or cure? And what was that feeling like for you when you had a
Well,
success?
One of my first cases, a mother brought in her 19-year-old daughter.
Okay.
So she had gone off to college. 1 month after college, she started having searing migraine headaches. She didn't feel well, flu-like, had to come home. After she was home for a while, she started hallucinating. She would go out in the middle of the night looking for her grandmother, who was long since gone, and they couldn't really get her to give up on that. She wound up at the psychiatrist after many specialists. They came in to see me and they said, what can you do for her? Well, if we looked at it, no one took a history. Everyone thought that she just had a psychiatric illness that just manifested out of nowhere.
Right.
No family history. On the history, the summer before she went to college, she was in a summer camp. She wanted to be a veterinarian, and she was helping the veterinarian with all the sick animals.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, well, what could she have picked up from one of these animals and tested a whole myriad of infections, and it came out to be brucellosis. Brucellosis is mad cow disease.
My goodness.
Right? But no one took the history, and they just pigeoned her into mental illness. So we gave her the treatment for that. After a couple of months, she was back to normal, went back to college.
So it pays for someone to seek your expertise out.
And I think of things outside the box.
Yeah. So it
Right?
makes you unique.
Yes.
You know, and I thank you for letting us have you on to celebrate you, because I believe that people want to have a long, sustainable life. We even talked about the fact that you also help patients that do have a chronic illness
Right.
just have a good quality of life.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa Zimmermann, for being here.
You're welcome.
You know, you're a champion for others, and I love that about you. So thank you so much. And if I ever start having more than just my hips hurt, I'm contacting
Right,
you
if
too.
it's unusual or it's long lasting or no one figured it out.
Right. Come
I'm
and see
usually
you.
one.
There you go. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We've been talking about modern wellness, and we wish you all the best on your journey as well. Stay safe and stay healthy. We're going to be talking to a massage therapist about the benefits of massage in regards to your mental health. Joining us now is Sophia, and we're going to be talking about massage therapy and mental health. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for the little gift. I actually put it in here. I put it in my drawer. I love taking a nice, relaxing bath. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I like the fact that you packed it with like some nice salts with lavender and like some affirmations. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
It's very kind of you. Now that is some of the same things that you use when you're doing a massage, correct? So tell us about your overall massage practice.
Yeah, so at Embody Massage and Wellness, we offer massage, prenatal massage. We offer yoga as well for kids, adults, prenatal yoga. We do a lot of wellness workshops, sound baths. We really do it all, and it's a lot of fun.
So it says that your career path changed when you had like a shift, when you discovered this.
Oh,
what happened? What was like your shift? What was it for you? It was like a calling all of a sudden, like this.
Well, so I originally was going to school for psychology.
Okay.
And when I realized maybe that wasn't exactly the path, I said to my mom, I think I'm going to take a break from school and just figure out what I want to do. And she said, no, like what else would you want to do? And I was like, I don't know, massage? Is that even a career? I didn't know at the time. I mean, my childhood was so like, my mom did yoga, she did belly dancing, she's a nutritionist, so wellness and movement and mindfulness was I was very surrounded in it. But so massage kind of just made sense, and when I visited the school, I went to New York College of Health Professions in Syosset on Long Island, and it just like clicked. And to me, it's just another form of healing, it's another form of therapy. We hold so much emotional and mental trauma in our physical body, and we don't always realize that. So like, let's say you come in to work every day and your back starts to hurt instantly when you're walking in. Maybe it's something more emotional going on than necessarily physical.
You know, sometimes people like to talk through their problems, but let me tell you, when Danny was like working out all the stress and the knots in my shoulder blades where I held all my stress, helped me tremendously. So I'm a huge advocate for it, and I always have been. Now, you also, besides massage, what are the other modalities that you offer there? I think you do yoga and things too, right?
Yeah, so we offer yoga for both kids and adults. We do prenatal yoga, and we also offer a karma class on Tuesdays where it's people can come in and they can donate like a non-perishable food, blankets in exchange for yoga, and that's on Tuesday nights. So that's really nice, and we take all our donations and I just bring it around to either some food donations at churches, or there's an adult home in Port Jeff by us, so I bring it there. But yeah, we do a lot of wellness workshops, sound baths. We like to collab with other small businesses as well because it just creates such a sense of community, and that's really what I wanted to bring with Embody, was a safe and welcoming space for everyone to, you know, be in these holistic practices.
You had a huge benefit by being the daughter of your mom. You realize that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I was talking to a guest earlier today, and we were talking about transcendental meditation, and I hadn't thought about it in years, like years. And I thought, oh, I kind of grew up with some important technology that isn't accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
So it's nice that you said you're doing yoga also with children, because you're starting them at a young age where they're able to like have this as a lifelong practice for themselves.
Yeah, it's so cute and they love it so much. We asked them like about a month ago, we were asking them like, why do they like yoga, or why do they like to come? And their answers are so cute and innocent. Or this one kid, he was like, I like the scenery. And we were like, you know what, it's good that he's taking in the senses and everything of the space, so it's really nice. And
where there are no wrong answers.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we do puppy yoga too, and that's with
You
the
do
kids.
puppy yoga?
And that's so cute, yeah. Yeah, we work with Hope for Cleo Animal Rescue. They're in Smithtown, and they bring in the puppies, and you should see the kids and the puppies. It's not as chaotic as you would think. It's actually like pretty calming. Like they're calm, and they know that if they're high energy, that the puppies will be. So it's really creates that mindfulness and that awareness of their body. So it's really nice.
Extremely innovative.
Yeah.
You're a good leader.
Yeah,
You really
and my
are.
instructors are amazing. So I'm so grateful for them.
Nice to meet you, Sophia.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Nice to
being
meet
here.
you.
You're a good leader, and I think that other people from around the country will probably give you a call to say, wait, tell me about this puppy yoga, or tell me about the practice that you've created. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Embody Massage and Wellness. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've been visiting with Sophia. Stay tuned for more as we live it up right here. Hello, Anika. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Oh my goodness. So you're calling in from Canada, correct?
Yes.
Your work is stunningly beautiful. I could not wait to have you on. I started life as a graphic artist and designer myself. And when I started looking at all your aesthetics for what it is that you put together in these custom invitations, I was so impressed. What made you decide to start this company with your partner?
The love of print, to be totally honest. Everybody says that print is a dying medium, and I firmly believe that that is not the case. Being able to do fun things with it, and just knowing how to make things beautiful and unique for people is really what drives us. Now, we also do general graphic design as well, but our passion lies heavily in the beautiful printmaking. So, yeah.
When you talk about printmaking, even for this sample, I'm just going to show it up to the monitor a little closer, Anika, so that you could see it. Are you doing this gold leaf by hand? Are some of these embellishments something that you are actually like crafting?
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So with those embellishments, we take glue and little pieces of gold foil and stick it down. And then once it's dry, we take a paintbrush and brush it off, and my backyard turns gold as all the little pieces that don't adhere fly away.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to tell you is that I just appreciate someone that makes something like this so nice now, these handcrafted invitations. It seems like we're in this like digital age, and people sometimes are just saying that it's okay. They're just going to evite somebody to something, right? But when it comes to a special occasion, this sets the tone, I believe, of the entire event. Right?
Yes.
What is one of the most spectacular things that you've done? I've even seen like paintings. You guys do like little watercolor paintings or something.
Yeah. So I work with a wonderful watercolorist here in Edmonton named Jill. She is fantastic and I love her to death. So we've worked on a few different designs together. My skill set is not in the watercoloring, so I lean on her for that. But we can combine our skills very well. Some of my best work has been done with acrylic, actually. So not just paper. I was brought up in a print shop. That was my first job getting out of school. And so I love testing different medias, different papers, all sorts of things. So having acrylic is a fantastic media for really raising the bar.
Well, Anika, thank you for joining us. And so the process is very simple. They could go to your website, they could learn all about the different things that you have. You have a beautiful website that really takes you through step by step, correct?
Right. Yeah, we have two processes, either fully custom design, or we can do just collection design pieces that have already been pre-designed. All they have to do is provide us with their information and we take it from there.
It's impressive what you do. And I thank you so much. We've been able to talk and visit over the phone for a couple of months now.
Yes.
And I was so excited when this box arrived because just like you, I love print, I love paper, I love the feel of it. And there's nothing more spectacular than getting a piece of mail, you know, that you open it up and it's like a present in itself. And that's really what you're doing for all of your clients. You're making presents that they're giving to the people lucky enough to receive it. And stunning too, like all different types, you know, whether you're a modern person or somebody that's traditional, that's the nice thing about it too. Like, I mean, these are just so slick, so beautiful. Great work. I applaud you and your partner. So nice to meet you. Happiness to you. All right. Thanks, Anika. Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Joining us now is Lia Rodriguez, and we're going to be talking about A.ROSE. She is the CEO and founder. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Really excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. Where are you calling in from today?
I'm calling in from Denver, Colorado.
Wonderful. I want to know what inspired you to create this. What was the story behind A.ROSE?
A.ROSE is from a very personal story. When I became a mom, I found myself in pajamas so much, and I was struggling to find something that just was flattering and made me confident and just made me feel like myself again. And I wanted to find something that was really high quality and just flattering on the body. And, you know, I always wanted to have my own brand. I'm like, this is the time to do it. And now we have this beautiful washable silk pajama line, and it's designed for women to feel confident with minimal effort, which was really, really important to me. And we're not just a sleepwear line. It's also about how we just make people or make women feel when they're wearing A.ROSE when they're awake as well.
Well, absolutely, right? Because that's the kind of girl I am. I still am to this day. I kind of like to just be cozy and comfy, but also look great. So who is to you, like, how would you describe an A.ROSE woman?
An A.ROSE woman is someone that can handle a whole lot with grace and style. You know, if we want to walk through a day, it's like she's going through the hustle and bustle. She finally gets a moment to herself after putting her little one to bed or, you know, doing her skincare routine. She slips on her silk pajamas and instantly just feels fabulous and polished and accomplished from everything she did that day. And, you know, our pajamas will just help her feel calm and comfort when she's reflecting on the day that she had, she's relaxing, having her glass of wine, and just getting ready to have a good night's sleep. And she wakes up feeling recharged, ready to tackle on the day. And she's so comfortable in her pajamas that she just switches the top for a day look and is out the door to drop off the kids or run her errands, whatever the day may bring to her. And she does it with confidence and is super comfortable.
I'm going to ask you this question. Why should someone try A.ROSE today? What is it about the moment of now?
Women should try A.ROSE today because it's more than just pajamas. It's a little luxury that you can live in every single day. I know what it feels like to want to feel your best self, even in the quiet moments of your home. And that is why I created this brand. You know, we're a fast and simple way for women to just feel good from the outside in.
Now, do you have your friends, do you have pajama parties, A.ROSE parties? What's it like with you and your friends now that you have this brand?
Oh yeah, I have people over all the time, and I love when they try it on. I want to get their feedback. It's been such an awesome experience having some of my friends that had babies and now trying it on. And, this was from my postpartum journey. So I want to help out as many women as I can to feel beautiful during that such a drastic change of a moment in your life. And, I've shared that with many friends of mine.
A lot of times too, when our jeans start not fitting and we're trying to take a rubber band and we're trying to lace it around, right? The enclosure on our jeans, right? And then after the baby's born, we're still struggling a little time and time again until your rib cage goes back down and stuff like that. So A.ROSE is comfortable during that journey as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the main things I thought of in the design is I wanted the waistlines to barely sit on the waist because I had a C-section myself and was a shopaholic before all this and was I couldn't buy any clothes because, I wouldn't fit in it 2 weeks later or it wasn't comfortable. So I wanted this to fit for a long time. So it's super stretchy and fluctuates, when you're fluctuating with weight, it doesn't matter. It will still fit perfectly on you.
Also makes a great gift, right? Because Mother's Day is right around the corner, right? So, you could buy some for yourself, but you also could buy something for a favorite friend or a mom-to-be or something like that as well.
Absolutely. I mean, when you go to find a gift for your mom, you're usually not buying an outfit because they might return it or they might not like it. It's kind of hard to find the taste of someone. But when you think about pajamas, it doesn't matter what body type you have. And the fabric is so, butter. So it's a great gift for any woman out there. And it will make them feel really loved and confident.
And it's 100% washable silk, which is also phenomenal.
Yeah, as a mom, I'm not going to dry clean my pajamas. There's no way that that's going to happen. So my number one thing is it has to be practical. But I wanted it to also be really high luxury and also very versatile. So all of our pieces you can wear while you're running your errands. You can, switch the top, switch the pants. And, that was really important to me is to take the most out of the investment into these pieces.
Well, I thank you for joining us, Lia. It was just a delight to share this with you. I love the fact when people invent things out of necessity and then it becomes a solution across the board. So congratulations for having a wonderful product and for being a solution provider for many, many out there. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day and thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. Happy journeys to you. Go A.ROSE. There you go, Lia Rodriguez. She is the CEO and founder of A.ROSE. Please check them out.
This is Donna Drake. Happy journeys!
Take my hand, come with me, and we'll find better ways to be something much more. Live it up, live it up, live it up.
Thanks for watching Live It Up. You can visit us at liveituptvshow.com.